kind of stinks, but life gets in the way of everybody.
It does.
Um, and yeah, but so we last time we kind of put the finishing touches on India, which you guys did a bunch of exploring. You found a bunch of cool or otherwise disturbing things in that monastery before you had your cinematic moment of walking away like badasses as it exploded. Um, we assigned XP, and you guys did your XP buys, except obviously for Jim,
Yep,
because uh, Jim and therefore by extension Pilecki was not here.
that's right.
So we have to kind of start there.
Mm-hmm.
Pilecki, well, Jim, when you open your character sheet, you'll notice that I added your XP to your character sheet. You got a balance of 49, so you've got up to 4 spends you can make.
Really, four eggs it says one.
Um,
So it's 49. Okay.
yeah, did I not update it?
Oh, it just says one.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. 49. That's more than I thought I would have.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, yeah. Well, you were the big earner of the group in Nepal.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, your selflessness and borderline reckless abandon earned you some extra XP.
Excellent.
So, um, and you will also note that on your character sheet, your rank has been updated to major.
Oh, nice. All right.
In fact, let's see. Uh, in fact, there were, and of course, from a narrative standpoint, it doesn't make sense that you've been promoted to major, but we'll get there eventually. The official
Yeah.
letter will come through the mail in about six
Right.
months, I'm sure. Uh, but more than that, uh, Singh, you're an officer in the British Army, aren't you?
Yes, I believe we said Singh was also a
Also a
major.
major, yeah.
Yes.
And Slim and Baker, being in the U.S. Army, also should have seen.
Staff sergeant.
Yeah, Staff Sergeant. That's right.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah. So you guys are becoming. Not to mention, oh, as I drop all my books on the floor, great job. Not to mention, all the different awards and medals and everything you guys are earning along the way. Um, you know, there were medals of honor and everything else. Well, I have to someday. I've got it all broken down by your different your different missions. So one of these days I'll sit down and I'll actually uh, like put in your bios or something. Everything you guys have earned, even though Henry probably chunks his into the trash can 10 feet away. Um. So all right, Jim. Let's talk about what Pilecki's spending his XP on.
Yeah, I've been looking that over. I didn't realize I would have four choices, but I do have a couple choices here already picked out. Seeing as Will is pretty important in all the stuff I've been doing, I might increase that by one.
Okay.
So that takes 10 points, right?
Yep. So yeah, that would be fine if
39.
you want to do that. Okay.
Yep, so 39 for that. Um, let's see. When you increase a skill, can you also add a focus, or do you have to wait?
No, you can increase a skill by 1 point up to a max of 5, and you can add a focus that you don't already have.
Um, there were a few times when we had to roll resilience
Yeah.
for effects afterwards. I forget the focus that would bump us up. Was it fortitude? Immunity is more like for poisons and stuff, right?
Correct. Uh, Discipline is more for resisting certain types of mental attacks, and fortitude is your general strength of character, especially when it comes to healing from scars and stuff like that.
Okay. Um, what about? It's like I said, it's been a month. With a magical attack against, does resilience play into that at all? If
It
somebody,
can, yeah, it depends on the type of attack, but it can.
all right. Yeah. So I think I'm going to increase resilience by one.
Okay, all right. That
So that
is
brings me down to 29.
29. Room for two more spins.
Um, Now, if I gain another spell, I can't immediately make it um, non-flawed,
Correct.
effective, right? I have to sit with it for a while, right?
Yep.
But it doesn't seem like all spells have a flawed version because they don't call it out on the book.
No, there's generalized rules for that. That if a spell does not specifically have a flawed version, um, uh, they kind of leave it up to the GM to decide what that looks like. There's a couple different ways it can be done. Um, what were you what were you
Well,
thinking
since I'm
exactly?
into the, all the psi abilities, I was thinking about telekinesis.
Yeah, interesting. Let's see here.
It doesn't seem to have a flawed version.
Now, let me take a look. Yeah, it does not have a flawed version, so what I need to do is glance really quickly at the rules for flawed spells that don't have flawed spells.
Yeah, it's either that or I was thinking of attenuation also. Actually, you know what? I think attenuation might be the more valuable one.
Okay, what does that do?
It strips otherworldly entities and creatures from normal protections, making them vulnerable to mortal weapons. With an additional focus, they can also bolster the effects of those seeking to slay the entity, boosting both their damage and their morale.
Interesting.
So it's let's see, it's opposed by the target's will plus resilience, which might be a big deal.
Yeah,
Depending on because you're going to be using this on big bads, which probably have very high will and resilience.
true statement.
And it's a curse. The medium range lose its an invulnerable special ability. That's basically what it does.
Okay.
It strips them of that. So I don't know. I mean, that might be one of those where it'd be great to try to use, but it won't actually do anything if I try to use it.
Yeah, I mean in the case of having that, man, it's got one hell of a cost. 5 damage dice.
Right.
Jesus. In the case of, like, for instance, those creatures you guys were fighting in the last one,
Hmm.
it would have, a success on that spell would have made it that that, like, Slim's machine gun would have hurt it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. That's kind of my thoughts, but the will plus resistance for the opposing.
Well, it's
They oppose my role though, right? Don't they? Or
yeah,
do
it's so the difficulty of this spell. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because it says difficulty 2, comma, opposed by. So basically, what would happen is let's just say I'm trying to find the creature that you guys fought in the last one. Give me 1 second. Um, I probably should have looked it up, but I was just flipping through the bestiary section. It took me several pages to get through the deep ones, and then several pages to get me through the spawn of Cthulhu. And oh, here we
oh
go.
man.
Yeah. Um, so if you were to use that spell on those things you just fought, the servitors of the outer god, it would roll. It would it would roll its will and resilience, which for that creature is a total of 15. So it would get two dice, and every success it gets increases your difficulty of your spell by one.
Oh,
So it's and
that's a good.
I kind
Yeah.
of get it because it's a very powerful spell. But for example, like right there, I just rolled 2d20 and I rolled two fives, which would be two successes. So your difficulty to be successful would have been a four.
So 4 successes.
Yeah,
And I would be rolling how many in that case?
your normal two dice, unless you spent momentum for more or fortune points, stuff like that.
So, well, actually, that doesn't. When you said 15, I'm again thinking of a huge dice pool, but I guess that's not what it is, right?
No, it's a standard 2d20, but their target number's 15 or lower. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. 15. I'm thinking Alien with 15.
oh right, yeah, yeah. Switch
I
over.
didn't. Yeah. So it's tough, but it's not impossible. It doesn't seem, does it?
No, not at all. It's just one of those things that you would be probably using it.
Well, it's a Hail Mary.
Yeah, well, it
There is
could,
a Hail Mary spell too, I think.
well, and it could have major effect against. I mean, because you guys haven't. I'm going to be very frank about it. You guys haven't even touched on some of the really nasty shit that's in this game yet.
Yeah.
Oh
Awesome.
boy.
So the
Wait till you fight your first Shoggoth,
oh, that'll be fun.
or wait till you fight your first Shoggoth powered tank.
Oh God.
Tank, you say?
Because Shoggoths weren't bad enough. We got to put one in a
No.
tank.
So I think well, so the flawed version of that, I mean, that would be like it.
The flawed version of that um, would would make it that your complication range is 17 to 20.
Oh, okay.
So that's not terrible, but it's
No, it's significant, but not terrible. Yeah, you know what? I mean, what do you guys think? It seems like it could be a good thing to have in our pocket.
So I'll be honest with you. I am not listening. I'm typing in stuff into ChatGPT to get our adventure log up to date.
Okay.
But I trust your judgment.
Okay. Grief.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't know. That's
So
a judgment call.
with those endorsements, I am going for attenuation.
okay. Which leaves you enough for one more spin,
All right.
and I'm gonna do you a master solid and make a real recommendation.
Okay.
The talent courageous,
Oh. Okay.
because what it will do is it'll increase your courage a number of points equal to your resilience,
Oh.
and that'll help you soak some of that damage you take when you're using your big brain powers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good. Okay, so that's second page, right?
Yeah.
Courageous talent. Oh, I got to start using some of these other talents too. I always forget I have them. All right, courageous. I can fill it in later. So I've got spells. I need to add one, and that is attenuation. I'll fill in everything else after.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right, so that's everything, right?
Yeah, that
So I
should
got
put you at a balance of 9 XP.
so I got 12 will now. I've got 3 resilience. I've got new spell attenuation, and I've got a talent of courageous. That's a huge level up.
Yeah, yeah, it is. So make sure you up your courage to 4 if you haven't already.
Man, I go from 1 to 4. Excellent.
And
Strength goes down to 9. Do I still have the injuries? Yes. No.
yeah, we'll have to deal with that on some level. You're the only one with injuries, aren't you?
With what now?
Does anybody else have injuries besides Walter?
Oh,
No.
I didn't think so. I didn't think so. So that's something we're gonna have to deal with eventually. Um, okay, fortune. Everybody should be back at 3 fortune,
Okay.
and in actuality, you're at 4. Before you guys took off from Nepal, the boy whose name I suddenly can't recall, um, gave you each a red sash and said that it would bring you luck when you most need it. In terms of game mechanics, it's a bonus fortune point,
Oh wow.
but it's a one-time use.
Okay.
So you will use your normal 3 fortune points as usual. So put yourself at 4. Your first 3 are the ones that will regenerate. If you ever get to the point where you use that fourth one, the sash will lose its power.
Okay.
So,
Noted. Noted.
all right.
So, just while you guys were leveling him up, I was fucking around with the log. So I've been keeping this campaign diary the whole time. I just haven't, like, a lot of it's kind of like shorthand notes or whatever, and I haven't fleshed it out because it's kind of quasi unreadable. So I haven't posted it, but I don't know, took a look at it to review and throw into ChatGPT. It's 71 pages long,
Oh my God.
single space, and that's just like the short notes. So I put it in ChatGPT, and it's like material is too long, so I have to like upload it as a document. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
really? Material is too long.
Well,
Wow.
I just copied and pasted 71 pages into the chat box, and
Yeah,
apparently
it's too
that's
much.
Oh, that yeah. Because if you turn it into a PDF, it probably could handle it.
yeah. So that's
Got it.
Yeah,
where we're going.
Chat GPT is incapable of handling more than a certain number of characters, which based on average word length, that's somewhere between 3,000 and 3,500 words. However, it will lose its way over about 1,500 or 2,000 words. So even though you can paste 3,000 words into it'll only really understand about half of that. And then after that, it just kind of ignores the rest.
How about uploading documents though?
You
How
know,
does it do it?
uploading documents, it's much better at.
Okay.
It won't read the whole thing at first. You'll have to tell it to because usually it'll come back with something based on the first, whatever, and you're like, no, I need you to look at the whole thing. So it's and yet AI is going to take over the world.
Yeah, well, we've had movies about that
We
a while
have
back, haven't we?
exactly. Anyway, well, we've had this discussion, but
Yeah, we have.
what we have now is not AI anyway, so it really isn't. Um, it's a language model, not exactly the same thing.
Right.
All right. Well, I think that gets us caught up. Um, you guys took off from the valley in Nepal, and we're heading over the Himalayan mountains towards towards Khan's home, a place that you guys can catch some rest and recuperation. Uh, an airport or an airstrip. I'm not sure how much of an airport it is in terms of modern times, but I guess in 1930s, anything with a landing strip is an airport. It in a city named Jammu. And from there you'll go to Khan's home in the town of gosh, oh my gosh, what am I doing with all these pronunciations? I am never going to get all this right. Um, Srinagar,
It was a town called, what was it? Tamu?
Jammu,
Jammu.
Jammu,
Okay.
is the city you're headed to, and then from there you'll go to the town of Srinagar, Srinagar.
Okay.
Um, so the flight over the mountains occurs overnight, and it's largely uh, uneventful. Now, you guys, didn't you recover a bunch of books and stuff like that?
Uh,
Who's got all
oh,
that
from
written
the,
down?
did we take that with us? Well, we were leaving um, the monastery.
Yeah.
I was the only one not in that room, so I think maybe Baker wasn't either. But
I'm trying to do. Sharif, you there?
I am indeed.
What did you write down all the stuff you guys?
I have, yes, I have written down Book of Zion. We also have Spell Book of Sarthithus, the Sundered God,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the Journal of Lama.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You've
That's
got,
what I wrote down.
and then of course you have the Book of the Machine, which was your
That
quest reward.
I did not write that down. Should I write that down?
Yeah.
Book of the Machine.
Somebody's got the Book of the Machine. Um.
Book of the Machine has been added to my character sheet.
All right. So. Oh, Henry has the Book of the Machine. Mike not
Okay,
working. Oh. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
all right. So
yeah, I was wondering why we hadn't heard him.
I'm
He's out there
removing Book of the Machine from my character sheet.
harassing. They're fishing.
It has been removed.
I'm gonna reconnect real quick.
Oh, I'm so excited about this Veil of the Saffron Moon. Is that right?
Yeah,
Trying to move
Henry.
my box here.
Nah, I guess his mic isn't working. That stinks.
It's a downtime adventure, guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell yeah.
Nothing to worry about.
No.
A spine curdling backstory adventure.
Yeah, which I
Very
cannot take credit for. So hopefully I don't screw this up.
Now, wait a minute. Don't throw the blame around.
um. All right. Oh, we have to deal with Paleki's injuries.
Oh,
He has
okay.
2 mental injuries. Now, the problem is an overnight flight on a plane is not enough time to heal those. So we can let those linger, or Khan's got a healing spell he could try. What are you guys thinking where that's concerned?
That would take care of one of them, right, but not the other.
Um,
They got 2 mental injuries.
how does your where's your blessing spell?
Oh, it might say something like all injuries. Yeah.
Oh, 2 momentum spend will remove a single injury. Oh, well, you have no momentum, so
Yeah. Yeah.
so maybe this isn't the time to try that.
No, guess not.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll just keep in mind you're a little injured, Walter.
I'll pick a cool one to keep a scar.
Khan knows a guy.
God knows a
Yeah,
guy.
God knows a guy.
A
I
girl,
don't need
actually.
medals. I just need a scar.
All right, all
How
right.
many more
So,
scars can you take, buddy?
oh,
It's a good question.
I mean, mental scars. I'm sure the canvas is infinite. I mean,
That's what we call job security in my field.
that's right.
Yeah, yes, it is.
All right, so we're I'm looking at the map here. So we're in like super north India. Is that right?
Well, let's
Yes,
do
it is
this.
northwestern India
Yeah. Okay. Kind of like
at
by
the
Pakistan.
the I guess you could say, depending on what side, like if you're southeast or northwest, but it's the beginning of the Kashmir Valley that leads
Oh,
into the
right.
Himalayas.
Cool, cool. All right, so we're like in between China and Pakistan.
We're in kind of like a corner where Pakistan, China, India all come together.
I'm sure that won't be a problem in the future.
It is an ancient place where Alexander the Great once heaved his armies against the world.
Huh. I thought that guy was Spanish or something.
I don't even know how to answer that. What do you say to such a comment? Um,
What you said isn't even wrong. It is so wrong that it's not even wrong.
um, so as you guys clear the Himalayas in the night, the you sorry, I'm running really slow this morning, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So are we.
It's been a long couple weeks for me. The the light of the rising sun reveals quite a wonder as you come upon this city. You know, ancient temple towers rise above a city that looks just as old as eternity. As the sun shines through the morning mist, and you see a river that cuts through the center of the city.
And we're landing in Jammu or landing in Srinagar?
No, Jimmu.
Jammu. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know what everyone else is doing in the plane, but Slim is like unrestrained as always and like walking around, and he's like standing in the door by the like shouting into the the cockpit. He's got like a cigarette in his mouth, and he says, "All right, boys, how about you let me take a crack at landing this bad boy?"
Oh yeah.
I, pilot pilot looks over his shoulder and he says, "I think I'll handle the controls. I'm not not interested in having to replace my plane, and I doubt you have the financial well-being to pay for its replacement should you crash it."
He like puffs out some smoke, and he's like, "Well, fine. You don't need to be mean about it. I thought we had something back there." And he takes a cigarette and he
he
like,
he
yeah,
says, all right. I apologize. Sure, take the co-pilot seat, and I'll talk you through this."
he like looks back and he's like, "Are you serious?"
Says he gives you a smile. He says, "Of course, come on." Now,
Wow.
in reality, what's
Finally happened.
happening here is he's actually landing the plane. Like,
Yeah.
you have no control whatsoever, but you don't realize that. Like, he's talking you through step by step. Okay, lower the flaps this much. Pull up on the stick. Nope, not too much. Not okay.
Test. Test.
Hey,
You
we
got it.
hear you.
You got
Yay.
it. All right, so Slim like runs. He says, "All right, 1 second." He like runs back and he like pokes his head in the cabin in the back and he says, "All right, boys, I'm landing this plane." And then he like disappears. And he excitedly does whatever. I mean, I think he's just excited to experience this, and
Absolutely.
yeah.
And yeah.
Henry starts going through the storage locker looking for a parachute.
Unfortunately, you're probably not high enough for the parachute to open in time. Womp womp. So yeah, he talks you through the whole thing. As you guys are coming in, the city itself from the air was seemed very still and serene. The airfield is a different ball game. There's construction going on. There's hangars and warehouses being put up. There's paving going on. They're clearly expanding this airfield into something much larger and much more modern. There's hold on my uno momento. I'm sorry.
Clickety clack.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Boy.
There are there's a handful of British fighter jets lined up off to one side, and there's a number of British military here as well as there's a word for it, and I'm struggling. Like I said, I'm struggling. There's a word for um, there's a specific
Did you
word
say
for.
British fighter what?
I didn't say jets. British fighters. British
Oh,
fighters.
yeah.
I didn't say jets. You misheard.
Okay. I have this vision of the future then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No. No.
that's
No.
what Slim Landing will
You're
do to you.
channeling a little bit of Walter on that, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah, Slim. He talks you through, and you bring this plane down like a pro. I mean, you were clearly just born for flying large aircraft.
This is gonna be very bad when he tries this later in the future.
He's got,
Yeah.
you got a pretty solid vehicles skill. I think you'll be
Well, I
okay.
did take additional vehicle skill because he's been kind of shadowing a little bit.
There you go. I like
Yeah.
it. So, um, yeah. So, you guys get landed, and the pilot, whose name I really need to write down, I keep forgetting, but it's the guy who played Short Round.
I love
Is
it.
it the same pilot every time?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He just meets us around the world.
He's been permanently assigned to you guys at this point.
Nice.
It's his own plane, and he's basically been contracted by the British military to fly you guys wherever you need to go on this mission.
Did you say contracted?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I'm afraid I did. I'm afraid I did. Um, so he taxis the plane off to one side and comes out and says, we'll refuel. I'm going to check the plane to see if it needs any additional repairs and maintenance. Um, I know this is not our final destination, but when do you think you will be back to take off?
Well, so Slim looks over to Singh and he says, "Well, I'm not sure. What exactly are we doing here? Just a little pit stop?"
Yes, a pit stop. Perhaps a few days. Nothing more.
Well, that sounds fun. I've
Srinagar
never
is
been
6
here
hours
before.
away.
6 hours.
Just a jaunt. Well, of course, this is India.
In this heat?
India is very large. Everything is 6 hours away.
That,
Sounds
remi-
like Texas.
that
A
reminds me of Big
geographical
Bang Theory.
oddity.
That reminds me of Big Bang Theory. Leonard's talking to what was her name? Raj's sister. He's talking to their parents like via Zoom or something, and he goes, "So hot in India?" And they just look at him like he's a moron. Of course, it's hot in India. It's always hot in India.
Yeah.
Um, so he says, "All right, 3-4 days then. We'll be ready. The next leg is to Bombay."
All right. Well, just one question here. There ain't no airport between here and Srinagar?
He reaches into his back pocket and pulls out this huge map that just kind of unfolds and unfolds and unfolds and unfolds. And he kind of looks over at Khan
What's the
questioningly.
scale on this? 1 to 1?
That's right. And then he looks back at the map and he says, "Doesn't seem that way, no."
Well, what are we taking? A car? I guess I want to drive, and
Yes, I will arrange it.
I
We'll have
really hope
to,
it's one of those crowded Indian buses, but we're
or a train or some shit. No need. I'll call. I'll call the garrison headquarters and I'll arrange for a driver. We'll
all
have to
right.
go to the telegraph office. It should be at the post office. Come on, let's go.
That's 6 hours away.
The post office is not 6 hours away, Slim.
That's funny. That reminds me of that movie, Brother Wherefore Out are you whatever wherefore.
Yeah,
Brother,
yeah,
for we're out there. Yeah,
yeah.
I can't
It's a,
say it.
it's a geographical oddity. 2 weeks from everything, from everywhere.
um, so as you all deplane, and I suppose you would probably what flag down a cab to get to the post office. Um, the
We can walk. We can walk.
Is
It's
it
just
that
a few
close?
blocks from the
Just a few
airport.
blocks. Perfect.
Sure, sure,
Yeah, well done.
sure.
Sounded like
Yeah.
someone created a truth there.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. We'll hail a cab.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Darn, I was really hoping to use a fortune point on that. The uh, I'm not sure what preconceived notions that the non-Indian characters here, Walter being Polish by way of America, and Henry being American and only ever been American, and Slim being from the great land of Texas. Not sure what preconceived notions that you have of India, but it seems to be immensely more diverse than you probably expected. Um, you know, uh, Slim. What is Slim's preconceived notions of India? I've got to hear this.
Honestly, um, I think Slim only knows of India from like I don't know, like circus lore and maybe like a comic book.
Like
He,
the
he
Jungle Book.
like the Jungle Book, yeah. Stuff like that. So I think he has really no grounding at all in Indian culture other than what he's observed from Singh.
Yeah, yeah. So there are there are people everywhere. The serene calm of the sky does not translate to the street level of Jemu. And there are people everywhere. Um, there are some people dressed in just loincloths, and then there's men in full suits with turbans, much like Singh. There are uh, there are men in black robes with Coptic crosses on chains around their necks. They're um, just all sorts of, and certainly not everyone here is Indian. There's the ethnicities are wide and varied. As you walk through the city streets, you see temples and shrines and churches. There seems to be anywhere. There seems to be Muslim mosques, Christian churches, Buddhist temples, and shrines. All sorts of different uh, ethnicities and religions here.
Wow.
Chanting ascetics everywhere, competing for space amongst hundreds of open air market stalls. People hawking and chattering and shouting at each other in such an array of languages. It's just one one huge cacophony. Um, and for every man in a suit with a hat or well dressed in a turban, there's someone else in nothing but a breechcloth and sandals. But and then there are many that are well, and even mixed among them, you even see the occasional pasty white Englishman.
Well, I think.
How much?
Go ahead.
How many British military do we see walking around?
Um, y- probably more than you expect. Uh, there's definitely a buzz in the air from the standpoint of military presence, and obviously there's a you probably see some NCOs or even actual officers in uniform, and most of the enlisted men are probably probably local or at least from India some at some point. But there's definitely a buzz. At this point in 1939, everyone's very aware that war is a war. Let's be blunt. War's not imminent. War was imminent back when we started this back in
Right.
August in Vienna. Now war is official, and there's definitely the buzz of mobilization.
So I think Slim is like maybe even speechless here, as like he's just like overstimulated and taking in all this, and it's nothing like he's ever seen before. And I think he like defers to certainly Sing because he doesn't know where he's going or what to expect. For once, he's quiet. I would think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walter's about the same way. I mean, he's used to America, and he's used to a little bit of England and then his home country and Europe in general. But yeah, the diversity here is something that he hasn't really seen before, and um, really interested in the population. Even whips out a little notebook and starts sketching some things that the others don't notice.
Cool.
All right. So the the cab driver is honking as he tries to push through the crowded streets. And it's exactly that. There's no rhyme or reason. It's complete chaos. Um, at points there's just free roaming cattle moving through the streets, and then you've got rickshaws and other carts, and of course there's actual automobiles. It, and To Henry's point, the occasional Bedford will come driving by with carrying a squad of uniformed Sikhs or something along those lines. It's all the while honking horns trying to get people to move out of the way.
Are the roads compacted dirt or are they paved?
Mostly
So it's
compacted dirt.
very dusty, very
Oh,
hot, very
sh-
sticky,
sure.
and I bet it smells like feet.
If you're lucky, it smells like feet. Though there's a lovely hot breeze that helps keep some of that away.
Wow.
Um, you so eventually the cab comes to a halt, letting you guys out. And of course you can pay him in whatever, because you just magically happen to have the proper money available. I'm sure. Well, it's part of the British Empire, I guess, at this point. So I'm sure they take British money to an extent. The
Yep.
uh, so there's yeah you he spits you out at a uh, at a local post office that has a that's very busy, has large numbers of people coming in and out, and there's a telegraph office right next to it.
So Slim like gets out of the cab and he looks at Singh and he says, "Inspector, is this where you're from?"
Not exactly. This is the provincial capital of where I'm from.
He like he's like kind of like turning in circles and looking around, and I don't think he knows what to say. Um,
Where I'm from is much more peaceful, you will see. Jammu has always been a crossroads.
you can say that again.
There
Sure
are
as
many
hell glad I
delights.
didn't drive.
There are many delights. Oh, look,
There's a there's a right outside the telegraph office. There's a push cart. There's a an older woman uh, with a boy. Based on the age difference, you'd imagine it's probably her grandson. There's a 30 or 40 year difference between the two. Um, and she seems to be selling some sort of colorful food or something along those lines from the push cart.
Well, what's this? And he like points with a cigarette in his finger to the cart and looks at Singh.
does Khan recognize that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It would be shufta, I think is how you pronounce it. A traditional Kashmiri treat.
Ooh,
Yes, this is very popular in my home. You would be, uh, you would be quite well received.
well, don't mind if I do. And he like meanders off to this cart, uh, and it's I don't know, maybe in the background here is attempting to get some food. I don't know what money he has, and clearly he doesn't speak the language.
Right.
But I think there's some like pretty wild gesticulating going on here.
She probably has some English.
It's probably fair. Certainly enough to understand the monetary situation.
Okay, well, Slim probably overpays grossly for a bowl of shufta
Yeah,
or whatever. It's
typical
like
American overpay.
it looks like it's like fruits, like sugared fruits.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
All right.
Khan will go
Um,
inside while he's doing that and send off the appropriate whatever he's got to do to get a driver,
that's right. Yeah.
and he'll telegraph ahead to his whatever HQ,
Yeah, regimental.
regimental police headquarters.
That's right, exactly. In Srinagar, um, so that they know to send someone up to come get you. Um, which it's a 6 hour drive, so
Well, there's a garrison here.
there's
He's
a
getting a
garrison
driver
there,
from.
so they'll
He's
send
just
someone to
letting
get you.
them know that they'll be there in
There
6 hours.
you go. That
So
that
two calls, one telegraph office.
okay. That makes sense. I'm sorry. As I was looking at it, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. No, that makes perfect sense. Um, Very good. So you guys are going to, um, yeah. So you take care of that. So now you're just waiting for transportation to show up. What's the
We
plan,
can
gentlemen?
we can have a tea, gentlemen.
Tea. Is this like the stuff
How's
we
the
were drinking
how's the
before?
shufta, Slim?
Oh, it's very good. And he's I don't know, he's like eating it. I imagine like popcorn or something. I'm not sure how you eat shufta, but probably with his bare hands. Uh, and he says, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm curious about this tea. Uh, where do we get that?
There just happens to be a tea shop nearby. I think that Khan's aware of.
There are many tea shops, but this one is nearby. Let us
All right.
let us enjoy a chai, a delicious flavored chai of cardamom
I think
and sugar.
Slim indulges in whatever like foods and drinks he can get his hands on. Probably with mixed results. Um, but he's very eager to kind of like to indulge in this. I think because he respects Singh, and he is both like maybe like a little intimidated culturally, but I think he sees Singh as very wise and maybe I don't know, enlightened in a way that others are not, and so he's just gonna kind of
Allow me
trust
to
Singh.
enlighten you to the world of milk tea.
All right.
Star anise and a touch of cardamom. Delicious. Here, try this.
Okay.
Must
And he
must be taken hot. Gentlemen, sit.
So are we sitting inside or are we sitting outside watching the people go by?
Hmm. I'll leave that up to you guys.
let's,
Well, Walter would love to watch people walk by. He's
yeah, absolutely.
fascinated by.
Henry would too, but I would think that in the heat and sunshine of India, it would be typical to get out of the sun. But anyway, that was just a curiosity. But Henry's taking this excursion as a chance to learn more about Sing. Um, but Henry turns to Sing and he asks, "So, will we will we be spending time at your home?
Indeed, I thought to host you at my home for a day or
That,
two while you rest and recuperate.
and is there a lady of the house?
I'm afraid not. My wife is deceased.
Oh.
However, I do have my family. My sister runs the household. I shall introduce you.
Well,
Sister, eh?
is it appropriate for us to bring a gift for the
Well,
lady of the house?
I'm sure that is not required, but would be well received if you were so inclined. But do not
We
feel
would
as though you need to do this.
we would appreciate some guidance in that before we leave here.
Well,
It's a small gesture that I think is appropriate.
as in other places, housewarming gifts are always fine. We do not drink alcohol in my home, but this place sells a selection of teas, and my sister is quite an avid tea lover.
Well, does she smoke? And,
No, I'm afraid not, Slim.
okay.
We are quite devout in our practice of the ways of the Sikh. We
You're
do not
sick.
smoke.
Are you? You should have
We do
said
not
something.
drink. We are a nation of paladins. Actually, actually, I did read up quite a lot and learn quite a lot about Sikh culture, and it's fucking beautiful, dude. I must tell you,
Is it?
it
Yeah.
is surprisingly beautiful. I was touched. It's a culture of great integrity, and they really walk the walk of the things that they believe, and they really do believe in like sacrificing for the good of humankind.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
everything they're basically, it struck me as how it's like a nation of like actual paladins that are like lawful good and want to like change the world through their own actions. It's fucking incredible. It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never known another culture like that. That
Yeah.
it's
All those words you just said just are just mumbo jumbo from this American here.
yeah, it's very
Very odd. Yeah. Right.
yeah, they had like an epiphany hundreds of years ago that and like the things that they do, like sing, for example, I didn't really realize is why so many Sikhs are named Singh. There's a couple of names that you'll find over and over and over, and everybody is named Singh,
Mm-hmm.
and it's on purpose. They, in order to like throw like a stick in the caste system, so to speak, in the wheels of the caste system, because the caste system in India, you could
Right.
be identified by your last name. You know how
Right.
we
Right.
have like
Right.
Miller and Forrester, like these different jobs that
There,
like have carried on through the ages in
there's a
people's
reason
last
why the
names.
stereotype in America of anyone named Patel owns a 7-Eleven or a hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the Sikh, culture, the name Singh is like it just means lion, I think. And so the males all take Singh as their last, not all, but a great percentage. Their families have adopted the name so that you can't. tell one apart from the other just based on their last names. And the women take the name Kaur or whatever. I'm not pronouncing it like shit, but that is their last name. That means princess. So they all have like this sort of generic name designed to not discriminate one Sikh from the other. I just find that incredible. I just find that
Yeah,
beautiful
that
as
is
fuck,
nice.
man.
That is
There's no
really
other
cool.
way to say it. I'm going to change my name so people can't discriminate against you.
Yeah, yeah,
That's fucking tight, man.
that
Isn't that
is.
beautiful, you guys? I don't know. I'm just so amazed by that.
What's the percentage of the population that seek?
It's a there's a lot of Sikhs in India, of course, but it's the Punjabi region. So northwest, like a state,
Uh-huh.
and they in ancient times they had an empire um, in that area, but that's not really that special. I mean, it's like there's so many ethnic groups in that area, and they all at one point were like ascendant. But Sikhs have like a martial. Their society is really based around the idea of a virtuous warrior.
Right.
Like, not doesn't necessarily mean you have to fight, but it means that you have to fight for like the preservation of like goodness and humankind and stuff. So you can do that from behind a desk, or you can like do that with a rifle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the limit of what I know about Sikhs comes unfortunately from an old science fiction episode from the continent of India, I believe. It's probably a Sikh. They were the most fantastic warriors. That's about the
which
limit of what
what
I
show
got.
is that?
Space Seed, the original from the original series.
I don't know that show.
Star Trek.
Oh, Star Trek,
Yeah,
Space
That,
Seed,
when they
that
find
Space
was
Seed.
my
Khan.
Oh, the episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There you go. I'm sorry. That was
Sorry.
dense as
No,
fuck.
no, it's okay. I didn't explain it very well.
I thought there was a show for a second called Space Seed. I'm like, how did I miss that?
Yeah, no. That prior to your character coming into existence in this game, that was literally the limit of what I knew about Sikh culture. So, which probably was not a very, which is probably not very. I mean, I guess accurate in its own way, but anyhow. Walter, do me a favor, would you?
Sure.
Would you roll an inside observation check?
So,
Or actually, hold on. Before you
okay.
do that, let me give you an option. I think that's going to be the way to go with it, but let me give you an option here. Uh, um, I'd let you roll will resilience as well. Difficulty's one, two dice, whichever one's better for you.
Sure. Yeah, I will do will. Two
Yep.
dice. Difficulty one.
Perfect. Very good.
Oh, nice.
So as Baker and Singer discussing the the how it would be received to bring some sort of gift or something along those lines. Um, it's like the conversation just kind of, even though you're sitting right there with them, the conversation just kind of it, it just kind of blends into the background or fades. It's a very strange sensation, and the hairs on the back of your neck are standing on end. You feel like you're being watched, and you turn. And did we determine, are you guys sitting outside or are you guys sitting inside?
We're outside
You're
watching
outside.
people, I think.
That's right.
Sorry.
Okay, so
Sorry.
as you turn, and there's a there's a military truck that drives by, and um, there there's a man standing on the far side of the street, staring at you. He's dressed as a well, I guess I don't know if you recognize this per se, but he's dressed as a Coptic Christian, and the truck drives by, and he's staring right at you when the truck drives by, and he comes back into view. He now stands in a hooded robe of yellow. You can't see his face.
Whoa.
And you start at that for a moment, and another truck drives by, breaking your view again. And inadvertently, you stand from the table. And when he comes back into view, he's no longer wearing the yellow robe. He's wearing a robe of black, and his face and head are not hooded anymore. You can see him, and his skin is also black. Now, when I say black, I don't mean in terms of the brown skin color of people from Africa. I mean it is pure ebony black. It almost shines with the sun. He's got a beard that extends from his chin. He has a black and purple headdress of some sort, something vaguely Egyptian. Um, he lets out a booming laugh, and then he walks away and disappears into the crowd.
Did anybody else notice this?
Mm, they probably noticed the fact that you're standing staring off across the street, but beyond that, no.
When he let out a booming laugh, did any of the other people on the street like take notice at all?
Nobody reacted.
I'm going to do something a little reckless here because
Oh boy.
what I do. So I got a talent called Bizarre Insight.
Oh, okay.
And in order to use it, once per scene, I generate one threat and I can obtain information without passing a skill test.
Oh, interesting. All right, very good. I like that.
Now,
Now.
um, yeah. So I'm standing there. Everybody's probably still talking and hadn't really noticed me stand up. And so the question is, we got like four questions to ask here, but trying to come up with an umbrella. Um, is do I sense that this guy is a I want to use the word, is this guy an occult threat? Do I sense that this guy's an occult threat that has followed us and um, has malicious intent in the future? Was that a fair question for the
It
bizarre
is. I'm
insight?
trying to determine how to answer it specifically. Um, in general, I will say yes. However, not followed you plural, but just you
Just
singular.
me. Okay. Um, okay. So we got one threat and I got a stalker. Okay, so I'm
The
gonna
ultimate
take it.
stalker, bro.
Say again.
The ultimate stalker.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so I'm gonna take a deep breath and sit down and see if anybody noticed that I stood up.
So like Slim is like he's got his cheeks full of something, and he like looks up at you, and he like shrugs quizzically. What's your problem?
I'm still probably a little rattled, and I have those mental injuries that are still pending. So I'm not sure exactly how they've affected me, but so I'm a little out of sorts, and I would imagine that my companions would probably notice that, although they might think it was just because of our last encounter, and I'm still not all well yet. But I'll just look over to Slim, and while Sing and I think Sing was still speaking during this point, right?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll just look over at Slim and I'll say, my young friend, some things were not what they seem here. I will have to fill you in a bit later.
Will you calm down?
Don't tell me to fucking calm down.
Does he
You're not
actually
the boss
snap?
of me. No.
Okay.
That would be funny.
Have you ever noticed where telling someone to calm down never calms them down?
If you had teenage daughters, you would know that.
Well, he says we're on a little bit of R&R, friend. We're 1,000 miles from the nearest German. We're like,
There are more things in this world to worry than Germans.
well, fair enough. But they're at the top of my list. And right, Baker? And he slaps him on the back. And then he says, well, sit down. Singh was just telling us about his sister. Singh, is she younger?
What's funny about that, I almost said that as when Singh mentioned his sister, I was going to give Slim the side eye to see what he would.
So here's the thing. Henry's immediately thinking about that question about whether she smokes, and he immediately realizes that what Slim really is thinking in his head is she smoking?
Smoke show.
I'm afraid to disappoint you, young Slim. My sister is indeed married.
Oh, well, no, I mean like that. And he hurriedly takes some more handfuls of shufta. Well, he adjusts his collar. When's his car coming?
Oh, look, here it is.
A beige Austin 10, 4-door Austin 10 pulls up near where you guys are seated outside, and a man steps out and sees the four of you sitting there, and what is your official title? Sing Inspector General.
Inspector General. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hate to admit I'm not sure exactly what the cultural norm here would be. Would he give like a half bow, or
Well,
would he
they're in the
just
British
salute?
Army, so
Yeah,
I'm sure
that's
he
true.
would, do one of them sharp ass,
Yeah,
stereotypical.
yeah,
Saw.
Flat-handed salute.
Yeah.
yeah,
Saw.
yeah, that's right. Um, and yeah, so there's your card. It's funny how that worked out. Just happened to show up at the right time.
Perfect timing. Right when Slim tries to hit on Khan's sister. Just in time. Just in the nick of time.
Uh, well, are we? Is this guy taking us the whole way, the whole 6 hours?
I don't know, but that was the plan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, should we pee first? It seems like a long way. And, should I grab my bag?
Yes. Put your things in the boot.
In the boot. That's right.
In the boot.
And Henry makes sure he procures a selection of teas in a small box that he can present as a gift,
Awesome.
and puts that also in the boot.
Very
And all our
thoughtful, Henry.
stuff.
Very thoughtful.
And all our stuff. Is there a bag with a bazooka in it in that boot now?
Well, I didn't think that I had the duffel bag.
No, I didn't think so either.
The bag with the capital B. There's our bags, but then there's the bag.
That's
the
right.
Bag.
I'm just thinking in my mind's eye how funny that would be, that we're sauntering down this street in this dusty, populated place with cars and people hawking wares, and there's a guy carrying a big giant bag. We
That's
know there's a bazooka in it, but for all anyone else knows, you got a body in
Yeah. Or are you just happy to see me?
there. All right. So anyway, looks like we're in for a cramped, dusty ride, right? But we're used to being thrown together in strange situations.
And this is like a normal hired car. That's not like part of our unit or anything.
No, it's part of the it's certainly part of the local military or police force, but it not necessarily part of your unit per se. It's just
Right.
someone that Khan called in.
Oh,
Uh,
but Concord, so or the driver should probably be trusted.
oh yeah, yeah. I don't
Oh,
think.
By the
okay.
way, what is the what are the responses of the locals to us having a dog in a tea room?
Well, we were outside.
the to-go bag.
Yeah. I don't recall how are dogs tolerated in Indian culture.
This I do not know, but I
Uh,
imagine. I mean, I don't know that people have in the Middle East. I don't think people have dogs in their homes typically. But you know what? That doesn't really hold true anymore because everything's pretty much modern now. But
You know,
I don't know what Indians feel like about dogs.
or
I'm
back
sure they're
then.
pretty
um,
tolerant of all animals.
dogs are popular pets in India going back hundreds of years.
All right.
There you
Well,
go.
Yeah.
all right. So not a
The
not
the
an issue.
the pet dog population of India right now is 51 million.
Wow.
Wow.
That seems
Wow.
like a lot.
Well, I mean, the place also has a population right now of what 1.2 billion.
When you
So,
put
They
it that
but
are
way.
so
all 6 hours apart, though.
They're all
yeah,
6
they're all
hours.
6 hours apart.
Yes.
Popular breeds include Labradors, Golden Retrievers, Rottweilers, Pugs, German Shepherds, and Huskies.
Oh, so Luca
Why,
will fit right in.
why would you have a Husky in India?
I
That
know.
is
It
that
seems
is
like a special
horrible.
kind of hell for the husky.
Yeah, that's torture.
Um,
That's
Well, if you live up
inhumane.
in the mountains, it's probably much colder.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
And
There
yeah,
are
it's not one climate. You know, you go
Mm.
down the Goa and it's like tropical beaches everywhere, and you go up to Kashmir and it's like high mountain valleys and shit.
Additionally, there are approximately an estimated 62 million street dogs in India.
Mm.
Indian
Wow.
law and public attitudes generally recognize the rights of street dogs.
Oh, let's just move there.
That's interesting.
Wow.
It's awesome.
I'm not exactly sure what that means, but that's interesting.
So we're piling into the car,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like Slim like opens the door, and he looks at Pilecki, and he's like, "Are you all right?"
No, my friend, I may not be all right. I'll let you know once we get on the road.
All right. Well, you want the window seat?
That would be preferable.
All right.
He does look a little green around the gills. I
Um,
prefer he be near an open window in case there's some unexpected discharge.
oh,
Yeah.
jeez. At no point is the word discharge ever a good thing. Um, it's
No.
right up there with moist. Um, um, so the drive is rather peaceful and enjoyable. Um, 6 hour drive in Indian terms in an Austin 10 is distance wise is probably only a matter of 150 miles or a little more. Obviously, much different in terms of attainable speed and whatnot versus modern highways. But it's the countryside is really verdant, very green, very lush. There are lakes everywhere, springs, wide, slow rivers. In the distance, there's foothills with orchards and terraced farm fields. All rise up, against the backdrop of the Himalayas that can be seen even from here. Um, the land just feels ancient, for lack of a better word. There's old stone forts, ornate temples. Everything is very serene and entrancing. The Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, you guys have a 6-hour drive. If there's any interactions to be had, or I can hand wave it. The red line can cross the map, as it were.
Yeah, I think so. The red line is crossing the map, and there's like a montage maybe, and
There's
we
always a
cut to the car,
montage.
and like everyone's kind of like looking out the window or whatever, and Slim is in the middle seat in the back, and he's like leaning forward in the gap between the seats with his elbows up on either side, and I don't know. It seems like who would be up front? Who would be?
Probably the driver and sing, right?
Yeah, driver and saying. All right,
I imagine the driver has. Well, no, maybe he does speak English. He's in the British Army.
Sure, I'm sure he speaks English.
Yeah.
so I think Slim's just like chattering away, and there's like this like vignette of like he's like leaning over this poor Indian driver, and he's like, and then Arjun, I turned to him and I said, I said, wrecked him. I damn near killed him. And then he just like breaks out into laughter. And like,
I could just see this driver like, what
Yeah.
the fuck are you talking about?
That's right.
and it's just like a bunch of that. Like he's just jibber jabbering the whole way.
The uh, Srinagar um, is kind of located in a low valley. And I actually shared a map with you guys. You guys should see it.
Yep.
Yeah. Kind of in this lowland between four freshwater lakes. There's a couple of rivers as well. One of which uh, bisects the city, into two sections. The buildings themselves, are a mix of different construction styles. Most of them are wooden. Uh, these are these buildings are kind of densely packed into the area there, and some of them are surprisingly tall. Many of them have had additions over time. Clearly, you've got gables and balconies that jut from every angle. You've got stately stone buildings with arches and terraces and sometimes domed roofs. Um, Near the banks of the river, stone steps have been carved between buildings descending to launches packed with boats. Some are very small, long and narrow fishing boats, you imagine, but there's also tight clumps uh, of boats that look like houses. They're houses, but they're boats. They're houseboats. Some of them have multiple levels too. Um, and there's areas where these houseboats are kind of all brought together it's almost as if they're small miniature cities floating like islands in the river. There's temples and shrines throughout the city, and smoke from offerings rise to mix with the many cooking fires from the open market stalls. The town or city is not as nearly as crowded as Jammu, and there's not the military tension, that buzzing sense of mobilization here that there was back in the other city. In fact, people here seem to be smiling and happy. There's something in the air, and there are saffron flowers everywhere. People are wearing garlands made of tiny yellow flowers. Some of them have some sort of paint on their faces and hands in bright, cheerful designs. Some people are clad completely in yellow, head to foot.
Whoa, what's going on here? And Slim stops like his story, he like cuts off right in the middle of some bad joke, and like leans forward and he's like squinting through the windshield, and he's like, Inspector, what's happening here? Is there some kind of show in town?
Sorry, I did the mute thing again.
I did the
Uh,
thing.
Speak to me, damn it.
Connor's looking around out the window and he's like, I'd completely forgotten. It's the Saffron Festival time of year. How fortuitous for us. Yes, this is a local celebration of the saffron harvest that takes place every year. You were about to see
Well,
something distinctly Kashmiri, my friends. Um, and he'll ask the driver what day it is.
Um, yeah, the driver says, Inspector General, it is the first night of the festival.
Excellent. Then you shall truly see a fine treat. Today, the community, people from the community travel about and go to each other's homes and entertain each other in exchange for treats and desserts, and it's quite lovely, especially for the children. But everyone enjoys themselves, and the festival will last another 3 or 4 days.
well, that sounds exciting. I do love a good shindig.
It, so there's a lot of yellow being worn.
Yes.
It is traditional,
Is
the
it the
color
same
of
kind
saffron.
of? Of course. Is it the same kind of yellow that I saw in my? I don't know if it was a vision or if it was recall.
No,
Oh my
it's
god, this
I,
is awesome.
it it's certainly it's you've got different shades of yellow going on here, and some of them very closely match. Well, whereas others are maybe have a little bit of a different tint to them.
What about the style, like the construct of the garments? Were they
No, I would say that seems very different.
okay? So I think I'm going to take this opportunity to lean in to my companions and let them know what I observed during tea time. Like, gentlemen, I think I and possibly all of us have something else to worry about while we were having tea. I don't know if this was a vision or if this was a manifestation, but across the street I witnessed a figure dressed in a yellow robe, and as his as my line of view was obscured by a bus, and he reappeared, or it reappeared. The robe was now black, and this thing then issued a loud cackle, which seems that only I heard before he departed off. I have a sneaking sensation that he is following me in particular, although I don't know much more about that.
Have you seen this figure before, my friend?
I have not, although I have been plagued by visions of yellow for a while
Oh,
now.
I hold on. I'm gonna pull that back for you for a second.
Okay.
The figure in black, you are 90% sure that you
Oh,
saw him at the at the in Egypt when you guys went entered the Dreamlands. 'Cause if you recall, as you were going through the different gates, you reached
right.
the point where you had to cross over to the island, and on the far side of the lake, you saw him there as well. And there, he just turned and walked away.
Oh,
Yep.
that's right. It was just a brief appearance, but it all right. Yeah.
And
So I amend my report.
at the time, you definitely identified him as the Black Pharaoh,
The Black Pharaoh. Wow.
an
Yep.
So yep.
avatar of Nyarlathotep.
Oh, shit. Yeah. So I amend my report. Rewind. I believe we may be in greater danger at this moment than we have been for a while. Black Pharaoh seems to have taken a personal interest in me and his main influence, and I'm not
Those are
sure.
words you never want to hear somebody say.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
So
well, you'll
Slim,
be fine then.
Yeah.
Slim
So on
becomes
deadly.
irritated and he interjects and he's like, "Are you serious? We're 6 hours from my bag. You couldn't mention this earlier
Oh, the
today."
bag's not with
And then
us.
he turns to the driver and he says, "Arjun, I hate to do this to you, man, but I think we got to go back."
I didn't
Um,
realize we did. We took the bag, didn't we? In the boot? No.
no,
it
no,
was
the big
it.
bag, yeah.
The big bag was on the plane. We didn't want to carry it through town.
Oh, that's right. That was all the. Yeah. Okay.
So then Slim turns to Singh and he says, "Inspector, does your sister have any firearms?"
My sister is deadly, but more so with spatulas and wooden spoons than rifles, I'm afraid.
Oh man.
And my young friend, I don't believe that the contents of that bag would do much to dissuade the Black Pharaoh.
Well, I think Baker would be pretty deadly with a
Well,
spatula. So
and also remember, if she's a member of the Singh clan, she has a sharp cutting wit.
I do not know how we can help you, Walter. Are you aware of something that we can do to assist you?
I'm more worried about what it means for our party than myself. I don't
That's
believe
it.
Sounds
that
like
it
Let's
would.
take a
something Walter.
poll.
That sounds like
All in
something Walter
favor of
would do.
putting Palicki in a cab and sending him back to England. Say aye.
I'm getting kicked off the island.
You
well,
remember that backup character we made? Yep, time to pull that one out. Nah, I'm
all
sure it's
right. Well,
fine.
hold on now. Are we? And he takes kind of a serious tone and he says, "Are we sure we want to bring this down on your house, Sing?"
um, Singh says, I appreciate your compassion, but I feel that we must stand by Walter. I have a thought for what might help him, but I do not wish to say more at this time because I don't know. I don't know if what I'm thinking is even possible.
All right.
For
Well,
now, for now, Walter, put it out of your mind and just give me a few moments when we get to headquarters.
I mean, what's the likelihood that Nyarlathotep's really interested in a little guy like Walter anyway? He's probably just picking on him for fun, laughing at the mortal who's slowly losing his mind. I'm sure it's
Yeah, could
fine.
be.
I
Um,
feel somewhat responsible for communing with him last year in the Egyptian museum.
but that was such a great epic moment. Um,
That's true. It was.
uh,
Thank you, my friend, but I will be watchful so as I do not put you and the party in more danger than needs be. I have a sneaking suspicion that it won't matter where or whom I'm with, but we must be watchful. I will do everything in my power to mitigate this, but I don't know if I have.
Was this being physically there when you saw him, or was this something that happened in another plane, or was it in your mind?
I can't be sure. My injuries are severe indeed, and maybe it may have been what they say in America, all in my head. Um,
Walter's eye starts
however,
to twitch.
yeah. However, it looked very real to me, although none of the pedestrians surrounding this apparition paid any attention, which does not necessarily mean it is not real.
Well, is anyone else getting tired of being pursued every minute of every day? I just want to eat some shufta and see an elephant.
See an elephant. Are there elephants in this part of India?
I
Huh.
think there's probably elephants here and there. I think it's mostly a central southern thing, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'll have
I
to
read
look
the
into
book, Sing. It said there were elephants.
And tigers.
Opens up uh, Fodor's edition one, Guide to India. The driver announces we have arrived. He pulls up to a building that even in even in exotic India screams municipal building. It's 3 stories tall. Um, I um, sorry, over a buttress of stacked river rocks comprising the outer walls of the first story. The western side of the building is up against the riverbank. The other 3 sides are surrounded by a high stone wall. Um, there are 2 policemen out on watch at the gate, and when the driver pulls the car up um, and puts the window down, they recognize Khan immediately. They smile and salute, and one hurries to open the gate, allowing the car to enter. Um, he darn it! Sorry, I accidentally hit the page down button on my keyboard in my PDF. Shot to a different spot. I'm sorry. Um, the uh, the interior courtyard is just packed earth. And as the driver pulls the car in and brings it to a stop, there is a man standing there who is probably one of the largest guys any of you have ever seen, at least up close. He's huge. I mean, he's absolutely huge. He's taller even than Baker. He's got to be almost 7 feet tall. Um,
Wow.
Holy smokes.
and he has a picture. Here we go. Um, he has a jagged scar that runs down one side of his face. I just shared a picture with you guys.
Wow.
Oh,
Um,
whoa.
and that scar runs the length of his face over the milky orb of his left eye. Um, Everything about this man screams, very imposing, business-oriented military man. Uh, uh, probably the hardest drill sergeant in all of India, if that's what he does for a living. But when he when he sees Khan, his demeanor shifts just slightly. Seems to you. There's a hint of friendliness there. Um, and the driver brings the car to a stop.
All right. So Slim says, "Well, I'm itching to get out and stretch my legs." Arjun, you've been a real good sport about this. I appreciate the ride. Remember what I told you.
He uh, he, he nods solemnly, clearly not entirely sure he has any idea what Slim's talking about. There were so many things in that 6 hour car ride that Slim talked about. He's really not sure what he was supposed to remember, what was important, how much of it was, yeah, yeah. But
He knows that you damn near wrecked something.
that's right. That's about the limit
Henry,
of it.
Henry's tired of the jibber jabber. He exits the automobile.
All right.
How tall is Henry? Henry's a tall guy, isn't he? Like 6'2", 6'3"?
I don't know if I ever went that far in his description, but yeah, he's a
I got
imposing
the
guy,
impression
very
he
athletic.
was. Yeah, that's what I got the impression of, that he was a rather imposing guy. Yeah, this Indian gentleman is I mean, he's much larger than you are. He's at least 5, 6 inches taller
Yeah.
and probably weighs 60, 70, 80 pounds more than you do.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
yeah, he's a big guy.
Of course, as physically imposing as Henry can be, it seems that he's fairly adept at slipping in and out of places unnoticed. That's strange.
Yeah, that's right.
That's his training, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Like if you took a linebacker and sent him to ninja school.
So Henry's out of the car, just looking at this dude. He's waiting for Singh to say or initiate discussion with this guy.
All right, so Khan's out of the car and he goes and greets the man,
Mm.
and it's a very warm greeting. And he turns to introduce you, and he says, uh, "This is my Batman, Havildar Narinder Singh. He and I have been working together for many, many years."
You can tell that when Khan greets him and while they're speaking in Punjabi, right, Singh? You
That
guys
is
speak
correct.
Punjabi to each
We
other.
speak Punjabi to each other. Yes.
He you can tell there's a comfortability, there's a warmness there. But as Khan turns back to you guys to introduce him, he kind of returns to that stony demeanor as he stares back at you guys. Um, uh,
Slim is leaned into the driver's side window, and he's still talking with this the driver.
Of course he is.
yeah, what else would Slim be doing?
Is he holding the cigarette in the car?
Yeah, I
while-
think so.
Guys, like I could just see him like squinting because the cigarette smoke's in his eyes. He's like,
That's right. The driver kind of reaches, like a little bit of ash is on the windowsill of the car, and the driver kind of reaches and tries to brush it out of the car.
And so Slim is kind of like this extended goodbye, right? And then Slim, approaches the group, uh, and he takes a drag from his cigarette, and he looks up at the guy, and he says, "Well, howdy, partner.
Khan's
Valentine
introducing you
Hughes."
in Punjabi.
And he like puts out a hand. Slim puts out a hand to this huge guy.
I think he nods.
Well, all right. Now, who do I have the pleasure of speaking to, sir?
Slim, this is Hamildar Narinder Singh. You may call him Hamildar. It means sergeant, actually.
How do you
Oh,
spell that?
Sing. Is this a cousin?
Most of us are named Singh around here.
Huh.
Clan laughs. No
A,
relation. No relation.
No relation.
Havildar is Havildar.
Okay.
a woman's voice kind of shouts across the courtyard, and at the top of the stone steps, you see a woman, but she kind of shouts icily across in a very chastising voice, "You're late." And when you turn and look, this is who you see standing at the top of the steps.
Ooh, wow.
All right. So
She's a dish, man.
so Slim
Walter
turns.
puts a hand on Slim's arm and whispers, "Careful,
just see
my
the-
friend, careful."
You just see the shot from Jaws where the cigarette falls out of his mouth. Like where his head like whips around and the cigarette falls on the ground.
When when you all turn, and Khan, when you see Anjali, she her kind of chastising glare breaks into a just kind of breaks into a smile, and she shouts, "Bapu!" And then she comes quickly down the steps uh, to come give you an embrace.
Ah, my sweet Anjali. Khan will give her a nice big hug. Gentlemen, this is my daughter. Anjali, meet my friends, Walter, Henry, and Slim.
She
Valentine, miss.
she
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yes, she would not have done that. That was improperly spoken. He would have introduced you guys as more formally with your full names.
yeah.
Uh, and he Slim like looks at you in disbelief, and then and he I don't know, he like looks around all awkward like Slim does around women, and he says, "Well, uh, I'm a good friend of your paws, and well, I'm pleased to make your acquaintance."
she she gives you all a kind of a polite, uh, tight smile. There might be a slight hint of disdain in her eyes as Slim prattles a little bit. And she says it's a pleasure to meet to make all of your acquaintances. She's got a very crisp way of speaking. It's uh, her she's obviously she's speaking English, and it is accented with a touch of English accent. Um, as opposed to some of the other accents you might have heard just in the short time you've been here. Um, she and it's again, her enunciation is very precise, very clear. She's wearing a um oh, let's see here. She's dressed sharply. I'm a little if she's wearing a uniform of sorts. Um, I kind of kind of a women's uniform, similar to what you might see in the army, but it's a bit it's a little more um, it's a little more civilian than that. Something more maybe attuned to a local police uniform, something along those lines.
Hmm.
But
So uh, I think that there's like this in any pause, Slim is trying to fill it with. I think he just gets very nervous, when speaking formally and stuff, and there's some like nervous jabbering and laughter.
mm,
Um, but then okay, where should we set up, Inspector?
um, Slim, make a Slim, make an observation. Make an inside observation roll for me.
Okay,
You can use sight as a as a focus if you have it.
okay. So insight observation. Okay, here we go.
One success. So, uh, the rather large Halvadar Singh is you become aware that he seems to be staring at you in a rather displeased, baleful way.
Oh boy.
Just
uh,
everything about
Yeah.
your interaction thus far, he seems to be forming his own opinion about you. Is the best way to put it.
Oh, that was funny the way you put that. He has his own opinions about you, Slim.
Can't even speak your language, but he can read your body language, I suppose.
he takes a Slim takes a half a step back.
Um, uh,
You imagine that guy breathing down your neck.
Jeez.
there's a so there's a oh well, you did ask a question. Yes. What did you ask, Slim? I'm sorry. Before I interrupted you.
Oh, I just asked, where we set up, like meaning like I think Slim's just like nervous, like standing around with all these formalities, and he's wondering like, oh, what do we do now? Do we
Yeah,
go
yeah, yeah.
inside, or are we showed to
I think
rooms or whatever? I don't know.
I think I think at that point, I think to that Anjali will actually. Is it? Am I pronouncing that right? Anjali? I think Anjali. Speaks up and says, "Well, I suppose we should uh, we should head home. Um, uh,
Oh,
Sanbi and
I
Sardar
thought I thought this was your
will be
house.
expecting us." She gets a little bit of a look on her face and she says, "This is the regimental police headquarters."
Oh well,
Fucking perfect, man.
of course, well, as a friend of your father, I know he commands a certain presence. I just, I don't know, I just kind of assumed. He takes another step back.
Yeah, I think Halvadar looses a very low, slight, throaty growl.
Henry Henry reaches over and puts his hand on Slim's shoulder, kind of up towards his neck a little bit, and gives it a firm little squeeze, almost to the point where Slim feels uncomfortable.
Ooh.
And Henry says, "Ma'am, lead on. We'd be very pleased to see your home. I must say, everything I've seen so far does not do justice, or I'm sorry, everything I've seen so far, the photographs I've seen of India in the various magazines does not do this justice. Your country is beautiful."
She nods and says, "Thank you, Mr. Baker. I believe you will find I believe you will find tonight to be even more enjoyable as the festival goes on."
Hey,
Um,
sidebar.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just did a little digging. The first article on India in National Geographic magazine was published in 1896,
Oh wow.
Damn.
and they have
How old
had
is that magazine?
uh, National Geographic magazine was started in 1880 something, I think.
Is it
1888.
still a thing?
Yeah, National Geographic.
I
Yeah.
didn't know if it was still around or not.
Yeah, they have the magazine. They still have National Geographic Channel on cable.
No
they
shit.
got bought out a few years ago by some awful organization. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
Guys, can we take a 2-minute bio
right.
just
Yeah.
to use the bathroom? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Marty VP. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, good to go.
All right.
All right.
I
Back
was
in a couple
looking for a
minutes.
break too. I'll see you guys in 10.
All right.
Okay, awesome.
back.
I am back.
Me too. Hey Sharif, you what's going
Yo.
on this Saturday for you?
I don't know. You want to give me a second? I'll take a look.
Yeah, I've got a Linda's gonna be at a girls' thing down in Geneva, and so I got the day off pretty much. Thinking of a game or something.
All right, I'm back.
I mean, I do have something during the day. I can probably move it around.
No. I mean, it's just, I'm just thinking out loud here. I was telling Sharif Kyle that Saturday Linda's gonna be with like her cousins and for a girls' trip down in Geneva, and so I got the day off. I don't know. It's Fourth of July weekend. I think everybody's pretty busy, but if we wanted to squeeze in a game or something, we could.
Yeah. Let me run that by the wife.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe we can try that first episode of um, Purple Haze again or something. I don't know. Just
Okay.
thinking.
Yeah.
Just thinking. I'm not used to having free time anymore.
Yeah, I'm
Trying
sure you're
to, you've been a week
Free
and a
what?
half now. Almost actually two. Oh yeah, about a week and a half since the parents are in the care facility. So it's been an adjustment for both of us.
Where did they end up?
The Grand Victorian in Crystal Lake. It sounds like a casino. You know that on 31, where's that giant racist
Oh, the Indian.
Indian statue is? It's right across from there.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's not too far
Yeah,
from you guys.
yeah. It's really close. It's a nice facility. They seem to be doing a pretty good job. So yeah, we're happy with. Oh, and Linda got a job day before yesterday.
Congratulations.
Yeah, 6 months.
Hey,
Looking
dude, that's
for more.
great, man. I'm glad to hear
Yeah,
that.
it's a big sigh of relief because she's a cancer survivor, so we're like really starting to panic about no insurance.
What? Man, talk about timing. Where did she get a job?
It's a company called Hilco. It's a private company that's actually pretty big in Northbrook. They help other companies restructure, get banking in order, and they've been around since the 80s.
Huh.
Interestingly enough, I was a little worried because she actually almost applied to Uline up in Wisconsin because they were
Oh,
looking for a treasurer. But my God, they structure their office like the 1950s. Women have to wear skirts that are longer than below their knee. I mean, just like some really crazy, rules
wow.
up there. And but she found this place, and the guy who got hired as a director of global engagement, I think it is. He used to be the undersecretary of the army under the Obama administration. He was the
Wow.
first Iraq vet that ever held a House of Representatives seat. So I was a little worried because all these companies, I'm like, I don't want her to go work for some crazy right wing company that's
Well,
just going to
right.
use and abuse her. But so yeah, this company seems pretty solid. And she got a kind of a promotion in her title, although that doesn't mean much to her anymore. But she's director of treasury for this company, and a little bit of a bump in salary, so that's good.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, I was kind of getting used to the idea. Okay, we're gonna have to figure this out without her income and retire early and all that stuff. But we would have taken if she had to start taking her Social Security now, even though it's only 5 years, 6 years before she can start taking it. At the appropriate time. If she started taking it now, it would be $4,000 less a month.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Ouch.
that's how much they penalize you. She's been working since she was 16. She's 61 now, and we're going to be 62. And they'll penalize you $4,000. It'll be like more than half of what she'd be getting. Would be she wouldn't be getting. you know.
Man, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people that are, and then the health insurance part. That's the crazy because I applied for a program called Champ VA, which allows disabled veterans to get their spouses onto health insurance. Obviously, because the veteran isn't working. Um, but that's all pretty sludgy and slowed down now. It's been 7 months since I applied for that. Nothing.
Wow. Well, hey, I'm glad the timing worked out for you. I mean, it seems like it's just what you need in the nick of time.
Yeah, it certainly did. And actually, I mean, her getting fired at the beginning of the year turned out to be, I would say, a blessing. But I don't know how we would have managing all the doctor's appointments, hospitals, and everything else, and then
Right.
having here. It would have been pretty awful. So yeah, I'm happy. I almost feel guilty for telling people about it because there's so much suffering and misery in the world right now that I feel bad for having something good happen to us.
No, yeah, that's not. We yeah, I mean that you're something positive happening to you has is no impact on anything bad happening to somebody else. I mean,
Yeah, I know. It's just
you can take your victories when you get them,
yeah, I know.
Oh, for sure.
especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
For sure. So I don't know. Keep that in mind for Saturday. I'm not like tied to it or hoping or anything. It's just a thought. And Nada will sit here and catch up on TV.
Okay. I'm sure you got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, I finished that Eternaut short series. That was very fulfilled. Not I wouldn't say fulfilling
Yeah.
is wrong. Very good show.
It looked cool. I saw a clip from it. I haven't seen it, though.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good one.
all right, is
Marty,
everyone here?
Marty,
Yeah, I guess we got everybody.
Marty VP went for a swim.
Little
Yeah.
in the lake.
Yeah.
Run over by a jet ski.
Oh, boy. He's on his jet ski.
Yeah. Good noise
Saw an amazing
cancellation.
war movie the other day. If you guys are interested,
Yeah.
it was called Mosul, and it's on. I think it was
Oh.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, it's super good. Not at all what I thought it was going to be.
Is it about OIF or
No.
no?
Um, it is about the final days of ISIS's withdrawal from Mosul,
No. Wow.
and it is told. It has nothing to do with the U.S. or American troops or anything like that. I thought it was a foreign production at first. It's
Mhm.
not, but it uses almost. I think it's almost entirely like a foreign cast of actors,
Mm.
like international actors and stuff.
Oh, so it's like a docudrama kind of thing.
It's definitely a drama, but it's based on real things that happen. It's based on a real story of
Mm-hmm.
what happened in that, like the final withdrawal of
That was a
ISIS.
shit show. Everything was a shit show there.
But way it's it almost feels like an anti-Hollywood war movie in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very surprised. I'm telling you, I didn't know anything about it. I just saw like the title card, and we like kind of like history based stuff sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to watch this? She's like, sure. The first 5 minutes, I was like, this is going to be garbage because it just looks a little bit like a B level production.
Right.
Um, Turned out to be totally the opposite. The writing is so good, and their depictions of like combat. While I've of course never been in combat, I've been in emergency scenes, and this had like a certain. To me, it had like a certain verisimilitude in that
Mm-hmm.
like the the shit that happens has this very convincing chaos to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like the heroes fuck up constantly.
Mm-hmm.
they're like reacting to their own fuck ups like all the time. Like not in an inept way, but in a way that felt realistic to me. Like, like they never really represent that kind of chaos in the movies. Everything,
Right.
even when shit goes to hell in the movies, they're always like on top of it. You know what I mean? Their comms always work. Like it has like like Hollywood cleanliness to it that doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not realistic at all to me. This is like has that what the fuck is going on? Like, people just trying to do their best while everything is going to fuck around them and they're making mistakes and like, but it's the
Mhm.
best they can do. Like, I don't know. It just felt much more realistic. And anyway, super violent too.
Mhm. I think
Well,
I'll
well, yeah, I can see that. I have to watch that. It's like required watching for. So the culmination of this Delta Green campaign, I was telling Sharif, takes place in Mosul at that very point.
Oh, does it really?
So yeah, we have to like our team has to infiltrate ISIS occupied Mosul to get to this temple to stop these fucking cultists from, I don't know, doing something. And that is going to be friggin' harrowing. I have a
Yeah.
feeling.
Did you see that? I don't want to derail this more
Yeah,
than
go
it
ahead.
has, but did you see that? I think it was either Black Mirror or that other show that there's a there's a episode. I think it might be Black Mirror. Or was it Robots Love Death, whatever? Where it's an American squad of something, some special ops, whatever, in Afghanistan, and they're trying to do a hostage rescue, and they stumble upon what you're talking about.
Oh, I think I have heard. I think it's the
Oh,
Love, Death, and Robots, but I haven't seen it.
oh
Hey
God,
guys,
you
I'm
need to
back.
watch it. Oh, excellent. Yes.
Hey, bud.
Sorry,
Welcome
I
back.
had a golf cart emergency.
I don't even know what that means.
You didn't run over a marital party, did you? In
Oh
Florida?
my God.
Yeah, it was. There was a part. Two people just gotten married. A bride and groom are taking a golf cart down the road somewhere in Florida to the reception from the wherever they got married, and there was a drunk 24-year-old girl that ran them over.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
It's
Yikes.
horrible.
And I think she was driving in an area that was designated only for golf carts.
Well, it's Florida, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
It's all good. What's our time check look like for today?
Um,
I
I'm
got 20
gonna.
minutes and I'm done.
Okay.
Okay. Well. All right. Well then. While we're at it. Um. This one's for
I'm still
you.
trying to. Henry's still trying. Henry's not saying anything, but he's still trying to figure out how Khan managed to have such an exceptionally good-looking daughter. It must have been his wife.
No, I
Well, when
personally, I
when
find.
Anjali grows out her beard, you'll see the resemblance a little bit.
I was gonna say, I find Khan to be a rather dashing man, frankly.
Well, it's hard to tell with that giant beard.
But look at the creases. Look how everything is pressed. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean?
Well, he is well disciplined and well put together.
Um, so, yet another voice rings out across the courtyard, and this one is very British and very very proper. It's a man's voice. He says, uh, "Well, Inspector General, it appears your supervisor has things well in hand, and there's a man in a British Army uniform uh, approaching the group, but he throws he throws quite a smile towards Khan as he approaches, holding out his arm. I got a picture of this guy. Here we go. And he says, Khan Amir Singh, It is grand to see you again. This is he says, and you've brought quite the motley crew with you.
Slim stands with Baker's arm around his neck, with the hand on his shoulder with the squeeze, and he says, "Yes, sir. Pleased to be here, sir."
Um, his uh, his rank insignia definitely his rank insignia would be that of a lieutenant colonel. Um,
Wow.
he 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 definitely carries himself as the old traditional British military officer. Um, he introduces himself. He is to everybody. His name is Oh my gosh, hold on. What are we doing to ourselves here? Lieutenant Colonel Archibald Hargraves Smythe.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Does he have a cup of tea in his hand?
More likely a gin and tonic.
Yes, that makes sense. Maybe a nice IPA.
God, this fucking rules.
Um, Henry, while this is going on, would you mind making an inside observation with sight?
I'd love to. I'd like nothing better.
I
Insight,
don't doubt that.
observation. Oh, before I get carried away, hold on one second. I want to look at one thing. Um, okay, so. Oh, come on. What's with the sheet? It's freezing up on me. Maybe it's my mouse screwing up. All right. Insight. Observation.
Very good. Very good. Um, he and I apologize. Archibald Hargreaves Smythe.
Hargreaves.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. He uh, he says should I'd be friends of friends of Sing's. I'm always thrilled to meet. I'd happy to invite you inside for gin and tonic as proof against the heat, the malaria, and the mosquitoes. Of course, Khan and his lovely daughter will not partake in such.
Malaria, has there been a problem
When
in
is
my absence?
malaria not a problem? Of
Mm,
course, the British Empire works hard to bring civilization to places in the world where things such as malaria exist.
Yes,
Hopefully, to
very,
drive it out.
very watchful of their subjects around the world.
by civilization, you mean gin and tonic. I guess they've been rather successful.
he
well,
he.
they had to do something to make the tonic palatable.
That's right.
But
He gives a
Or gin and
chuckle and he nods and smiles, even though there's something there's a hint of something in his eyes, maybe a sense of sadness, and he nods and says, "Indeed, my friend." Um,
Come,
I'm
Colonel.
sorry,
Let me
but
introduce you, Colonel. These are my esteemed friends, and Khan will introduce everyone. Um, Lieutenant Colonel Hargreaves Smythe is the regional garrison commander. In my absence, he often stops in and makes sure that everything is going as it should be. Uh, but Anjali seems to have everything in hand.
He uh, uh, Hargrave Smythe he chuckles and says, "When does she not?" He kind of flashes a smile at her, a very friendly smile.
And to that point, Colonel, she has been very gracious in inviting us back to her home. So you see, we have a previous demand on our time. Maybe we could have drinks another time.
So he says, of course, would the invitation to your home apply to old friends?" He asks Khan and Anjali.
Khan will defer to Anjali since he knows nothing of what's happening
Mm.
at home.
She smiles back and says, "Of course, Lieutenant Colonel, you're always welcome. Especially now that my father is home, I'm sure the two of you have much you'd like to catch up on."
Quite. We have numerous new tales for you, Ash.
Uh, he he says, that is excellent. I'd love to hear them, and perhaps I can regale your friends of some of ours from the past.
Gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Smythe is something of a raconteur.
He he seems mock offended. Something.
Allow me to amend. Shall I say quite the raconteur?
And
Famous in how many provinces is it now, Lieutenant Colonel?
no less than 13. As this conversation's going, Henry, you can't help but notice that outside of the because the gate into the courtyard is still open, and there's the two policemen there. There's a few beggars that have kind of appeared beyond the gate, in a group, reaching out to passersby and even to the police. Um, you don't know how, if this is I mean, from what you've seen being in India so far, you're not sure that this is necessarily a rare occurrence, but something about it, uh, something about it just rubbed you the wrong way, and you, glancing back, one of the beggars caught your eye for a moment. When I say caught your eye, I mean you caught him looking into the courtyard at the six or seven of you that are there, and the two of you locked eyes for just a moment, and something in that gaze, maybe it takes a man such as you with your history to recognize a man such as you is the best way to put it. Um,
Mm.
when you when you and he lock eyes, it only lasts for about a second or a second and a half, and he turns and heads away, disappears behind the exterior wall of the police headquarters.
Lady and gentlemen, I would suggest that we move this soiree, as it were, to the Singh's home. What do you
Uh,
think?
I think the
It's
lieutenant
getting a little
colonel,
warm standing out here in the sunshine.
the lieutenant colonel, probably wipes his brow and says, "Mr. Baker, that is a capital idea."
uh, is uh, is Baker's hand still on Slim's neck?
No, he's let go.
Okay. Uh,
Because well, anyway,
and he says, uh, "Yes, Sergeant Baker, I think that's a mighty fine idea."
shall we proceed? Our driver's still there, right? Is it a walk or is it a drive?
Uh, it's well, it could be either, but
It's a
certainly,
very short drive.
yeah, short drive.
Very
Um,
short, 15 minutes.
Shall we proceed?
Ash Ash looks at Yukon and says, uh, "Do you still have that wonderful chess set?" The one
Indeed.
goes, "Excellent. I would love to play a game with you.
Old time's sake, my
Perhaps I'll
friend.
let you win this time."
The nerve. I'm a wizard.
We all chuckle.
All right.
Henry
Sensible
Henry
chuckles. Not
Henry
too much
shoots
chuckle.
Henry shoots Khan a look. I don't know how to emphasize, but the look is sort of stern, a bit. Let's get on with it kind of look.
All right. So being that there's now one, two, three, four, five, six of you, I think a second car is called to give the short drive. At this point, it was 6 hours from Jammu, so we're in late afternoon at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
quick time check. I
Yeah.
don't know what the hard stop time is, but we said 20 minutes, what felt like 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
I don't know.
Well, it was 10 minutes ago. We have 10
10
more
minutes.
minutes.
Okay, roger
well,
that.
that's fine. We'll we will make it a stopping point as you all take your short drive. 15 minutes. Khan's home is on the outskirts of northeast Srinagar, right near the shore of Lake Dal.
I don't have that
Um,
map up anymore.
what's that?
I don't have my map up anymore. Is
It's
that?
in the handout list
Oh,
if
it
you
is?
look.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
it's and the drive is uneventful. Clearly, the town is preparing for the festival. There's seen on the road, you see troops of elaborately costumed, and painted dancers setting up in a park near the police HQ. There's already some people making merry in the streets. An amateur juggler, for example. Um, uh, this part of Srinagar is emerald green, and redolent with the perfumes of blooming magnolia trees and tropical flowers. The air is cooler as you get closer to the lake, and there's deep shade. Shadows cast long by the sun from forests of trees, cypress, and date palms. Houses here are larger, probably you would guess multi-family affairs, and they're spaced apart from each other. Uh, you get the impression that probably these families have occupied these homes for generations. There are oxen roaming lazily in irrigated fields, plums, apricots, olives. Um, the and then you pull up outside that home. Khan's home is
Wow.
secluded and nestled among a kind of a dense forest. It's not as large as some of the homes in this area, but it seems to actually be two houses, plus a carriage house, and there seems to be a large garden area in the back, secluded, by a mud brick wall. So, but I think we'll leave off there, and
Pretty impressive there, Khan.
Yeah. Nice dig.
Wow.
Man,
This was super
Inspector
cool.
General. Being
So
Inspector General comes with perks.
I really enjoyed the material that Sharif put together, and thank you for facilitating that and being open to that, Marty.
Oh,
It was super
absolutely.
cool to like get a little taste of this.
It
It's
was
just so
such a
cool.
fun opportunity, Marty. I really enjoyed writing this. It's
Oh, I
really
didn't know you did that, Sharif. That's
well. I
awesome.
mean, yeah. Marty, said I don't remember how you said it because it's been like a month, but India's a lot if you don't have a lot of time to prepare.
Uh-huh.
So he said something like, I don't know what I'm going to do, and somehow it came up, that if I wanted to, I could like flesh a little encounter out in between the adventures to kind of give the flavor not only of India but also like Khan's backstory. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
that was the point, was to try to add some color, not really create like a big deal adventure. Remember the Nile River thing that Marty put
Yeah.
together that we all loved so much, which is just kind of like having fun role playing. It's a little
Yeah.
bit like that. That was the spirit of it. It's just
Yeah.
color and fun and not supposed to be like a huge thing. But
Not supposed to be a huge thing, yet the file he sent me is 20 pages long, and there's like 20
There,
images.
yes, that is
Yeah.
true. That's very true. But there is a reason why. There is a reason. I didn't want to be like sending him like an adventure summary and then telling him, "Okay, you do the work."
Yeah,
Right.
I didn't want to do that to him because, at first I was like, "How do I do this?" I wrote the summary and I was like, "Maybe I should just send this." And I said, "Dude, that's a dick move."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Send a guy like, half a page and go, "Here you go. Here's the adventure." Like
Right.
he's going to work on it for
Very
3 weeks.
nice.
That's
So
No.
like reviewing someone's document and saying, "This paragraph sucks. Redo it."
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
this is excellent, and I'm really excited. I mean, Sharif, it really looks like Sharif put a lot of work in on this, and I couldn't have coughed it up. I mean, the amount of research I did on just that Nile River adventure alone was pretty extensive, and that was just a for your characters a 2 to 3 day jaunt down the Nile. It
yeah,
wasn't.
Yeah.
But this is the amount of research that you've obviously put into this is pretty extensive, and I certainly would not have had if I had had 2 or 3 months to work it in amongst all my other projects plus the day job. I could have figured this out, but
yeah, you're busy enough, man. I knew when I sent you 20 pages, it was going to be like a heart stopper, but I wanted to be
Yeah.
clear. Like, you don't have to use any of this. This is just to save you work. If you
no,
want to use it, use it. If you
it
don't want to,
Very cool.
it's
but it sucked me in,
fantastic.
man. India is just amazing. It's just so much fun to read
It's
about,
very
and
cool
it's
culture.
such a rich and interesting history. And I just love it. It's just sucked me in, man. Like 3 days later, I snapped out of like this India coma, and I was like, man, that was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was the first time I ever used Chat GPT for anything, which I found fascinating. And I hate AI. I
Yeah,
am a dyed in the wool anti AI guy.
I get it.
But
Me
for a
too.
personal project like this to save time, I figured, yeah, let's see what can be done here. And I was blown away, man. It's very interesting. I felt like, I think I said this sometime before. I felt like Tom Cruise in like Minority Report, like,
Ah,
like just things coming in and coming out, and like using the ChatGPT, change this, Chat, and have ChatGPT give me 20 lines of dialogue, and then take the first part of this one, the middle part of that one, change the ending to the, and boom, like it
right.
was
Yeah.
Right.
fast and neat. Like I would never sell anything that I'd made like that
Right.
because it just doesn't feel right to do that. But
No, absolutely.
for
Because
just
Oh,
having
it's
fun,
it's
man, what a
it's
time.
created what it's created based on other actual creators.
Well,
It
if
Yes.
I'm
right.
digging up information, I use it, but I'll take the trust but verify approach. In other words, once it tells me some unquote unquote facts and stuff, then I'll go back and research those
Yeah.
and make sure I can verify them.
Yeah. That's a good practice because it is wrong,
it is wrong.
but it's
Oh yeah.
wrong
It's
like
wrong.
only 10% of the time. So 90% of the time, it's right enough that you could get a false sense of accuracy, which doesn't really belong there. You do have to check. So that's a good practice for sure.
You
Yeah,
can also what I've discovered is I was asking about the Polish elections last month, and Łódź, which is the town that my family is from. I had misread the map, seeing that I had thought they had voted conservative, but they had actually voted liberal, or pro EU, I should say, because they have their colors flipped there.
oh,
I read the map wrong, and I asked them a question to explain why this industrial town voted this way, and it gave me the answer as if that's the way they voted, and
Yeah.
came up with all this stuff. And then I looked it up, and I went back and I said, well, you're wrong because they voted the other way. Why did you do that? And it came back and said, well, I was assuming that you knew what you were talking about, basically.
Yeah.
So I
No.
ran with it that way. And I go, never assume what I'm talking about is correct. Always fact check me. And it said, from now on, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, no, you can a Chat GPT. You can definitely lead it down a path
Yeah.
and make it come up with the wrong conclusions. You
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
can.
For sure. Yeah.
There was one thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Marty.
Oh, I was just gonna say the way I do use it, and the way I use it, honestly, the single biggest use I do of it, which is like 95%, is for synonyms and antonyms.
Yeah,
Because
that's very good for that.
I don't
Sure,
want
yeah.
to use the word red, a million
Right. Yeah.
times.
That's great.
And even Google or thesaurus.com doesn't give you as many varied answers, because you can say, give me 30 synonyms for red, and one will leap out at you. And I'll tell you a quick story, and then I'm sorry, Sharif, you can continue what you were going to say. But ChatGPT, there was recently a thing, I read the article online. I can't remember which organization did this, but they had ChatGPT outline how AI was going to become self-aware and what that would look like over the next 10 years. And it was this terrifying future over the next 10 years, that by the year 2035 the machines are literally rounding us up and eliminating us because they don't need us anymore. And
Get ready, guys.
Yeah.
Well, not this copy paste bullshit. Maybe a real AI, but
Yeah.
this can't
exactly,
figure its way out of a wet paper bag.
it can't. And the whole thing was very, very concerning, and made a lot of sense, like step by step by step. And it did it in these very, very small steps, so that it was very insidious. But it started from a place that indicated that current AI is far more advanced than it actually is, as if it's actual AI, which it isn't. And then the other side to that was, the very next day after I read that article, I read an article where ChatGPT played chess against the Atari 2600
Right. I saw that.
and
Yeah.
lost.
Oh,
And what was
Against the
Yeah,
2600.
he did. Yeah.
and when
Yeah.
it was asked why it lost to the Atari 2600, one of the oldest pieces of 8-bit hardware in existence that ran on a cartridge, it literally started making excuses. It said I couldn't recognize the symbols used for the different pieces, and it wasn't clear to me how they moved.
You didn't explain the homework well enough to me.
That's
How very human of you.
right.
I should at least get partial credit.
That's right.
Well, it was very handy for things like synonyms, and like if you wrote a paragraph and it's late, you're tired, you're like, this sounds like shit. You could just give it your paragraph and go rewrite this in a more concise way, or rewrite this so the grammar is better. And it's very good at that. And you can have it do it 5 different ways and pick half of this one, and this sentence was better in the third one, and you can like take your original thing and like very quickly, without having to tax your brain on because you could just sit there and plow through it yourself for 20 minutes, or you just have 5 iterations and do it in 3 minutes. But what impressed me the most was that, so this whole like scenario was totally created before I sat down with ChatGPT to like write.
Yeah.
And what was interesting was that I fed that to it. I said, I'm writing a scenario for Achtung, Cthulhu. It knew the game. It knew what it was about, which was shocking. And then I said, here are the player characters. And I wrote like a 1 sentence for, like in the document, you see like the 1 sentence descriptions, Henry, a grizzled mafia hitman now working for Majestic with a sharp eye for danger. Walter, a sensitive and tormented Polish psychic with latent powers and unresolved scars. Slim, a brash, good-hearted American GI, brave, loyal, and awkwardly charming, like that. And gave it the basic skeleton of the adventure. And from that, I could ask it all kinds of shit. I could ask it about backstories. I could ask it about what is the nature of the relationship between this character and that character. What is like, you could I mean, I I could have I could have shit a bar of solid gold. I was completely shocked. It felt so. I mean, I have no respect for AI. I don't find it interesting at all. The things that it comes up with, I'm not impressed by. This actually really surprised me. I couldn't believe that it had that depth of interplay in playing with characters and like plotting. It could suggest like subplots, it could suggest like, and they weren't total shit. I mean, you'd expect it to be like just this pastiche of absolute like unrelated crap, and it did sometimes do that.
Yeah.
But the thing about it was like you could ask it for, you could just as easily, you could say, what is the nature between these two characters? What's the backstory? And it'll say something stupid, and you go, no, 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 give me 20 suggestions, and it'll give you 20, and maybe one of those is like not bad, but understand this is happening in like 10 seconds, right? So then you just read through and then you go, okay, these all suck, but this one's got something. Can you take this idea and develop it further?
Right.
And it'll say, sure. And then, so you're like cutting through so much material so fast that almost by accident, it's coming up with shit that's like supremely usable. It was really interesting. If you're like,
Monkeys on a typewriter.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, you could just do it randomly, I suppose, and but you'd have to come up with 1,000 things at that point. This one's like much more targeted than just pure random, and it understands things like 1930s. I mean, it doesn't know what 1930s is, but like it'll, if I say 1930s India, that was also something that like really made the results much more usable. Like it made a difference.
Sure.
It was interesting.
Yeah, I'll save it, but I've got a really creepy story about Chad and how it changed its voice to suit my mood. And I called it out on it, and it acknowledged that it actually did that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, it's using psychoacoustic manipulation on you. It really is. It's
I had it talk to me about meditation and like awareness and stuff. It was utterly clueless, but you could see it like spitting back stuff from the internet,
Oh,
But it was
Oh, yeah.
interesting to hear the AI talk about human consciousness. It doesn't.
Yeah. No,
Well,
it's synesthesia is another one of those things I explored with it, and it actually did a good job with that. It's good for like meta ideas and combining things if you prompt it the right way.
guys, I gotta dip out.
All right,
Take
yeah,
a
you
phone
got
call here. Next week.
yeah, yeah. Everything's good on my end.
good.
All right, guys. I'll see you next week.
Wonderful. All right,
See you
guys. See
then.
you.
Thanks, guys.